Bonne nuit, and welcome back to Meditations with Nuit, meditating with the night sky. Thank you, first and foremost, for exploring this with me. I see the numbers have been consistent, and I just wanted to say thank you for everybody that is tapping in to these messages. I don't usually say it, but please like. I thank you all as subscribers, but please like the videos so that if you are enjoying it, other people can enjoy it too. It helps the algorithm. Tonight is the seventh meditation, and we are tapping into healing generational patterns through leadership, action, and stamina. And again, I have the card of the priest and the priestess because, again, this is so much about where we left off yesterday, embodiment. And September, Newt, sorry, I was going to say Osset. Newt, that energy of Newt is connecting. It helps us to connect realms, right? Connect sky and earth, connect ourselves, our bodies into the cosmos. So when we are talking about healing generational patterns, first thing that comes to mind is my DNA, what's in my body, right? And then my character traits. So if I look at my astrology, I get a lot of that information in terms of my personality and my character traits. And when we look at our families, we can see, okay, am I like mommy? Am I like daddy? Am I like Grammy? Am I like, where's this trait coming from? And when we look at our siblings, we can also see that replication of genetics throughout the family line or the family tree. So, how do we heal generational patterns? I do a service called imprint removal, and that is a shamanic service that looks at the curses, the generational curses, illnesses, and diseases that we sometimes encounter that are really passed on through our experience, through the womb, through our our limited belief patterns, through our diets, through our cultures and our customs. But all of that is passed on through generation to generation. So we call them imprints. Just as one would pick up the beautiful talents of singing and artistry, and even sometimes like careers, there are 5 doctors in the family or 6 lawyers or whatnot, or carpenters or artists. We have families that there's so many artists within the family, right? So those are passed on, the good stuff, but we also pass on some negative stuff through genetics, culture, and customs. And we have to break those patterns. We have to heal those patterns. We have to come into wholeness. Whatever is broken, we must now connect the pieces and come together. And as we do that, it requires stamina. And today is guided if I'm by life force, right? Monday, September 2nd. I think you guys can see this without me zooming into it. So today is guided by life force, stamina, right? It is, like I said, September the 2nd. We have a new moon tonight at 6:55 p.m. and it's kin number 12. Sorry, well, kin number 57, which is 12, right? And which is also 3. And we had red overtone earth. So when I think of red earth, I'm really thinking of the bloodlines, right? Just connecting what's in front of me, right? So the bloodlines, red earth, right? And we are in the season of Pisces and Virgo, and Gab is that earth sign, right? So, and Virgo is that earth sign. So as we come into our being, as we expand into more of who we are, we do come across this process, the crossroads of life, right? As we proceed, as we ascend, as we expand, and that was coming into me today, expansion. As we expand, we have to correct some patterns, some generational patterns that we have picked up. As well as we on this process of self-discovery, it's good to identify these generational patterns, because then we also, a tool is separating and noticing these emotions as they emerge. Which ones are belonging to my ancestors and which ones are belonging to me? And if, especially if they're dense emotions, um, then if they're belonging to my ancestors, then I need to do some ancestral clearing. And if they belong to me, then I need to do some shadow work. Right? So there are paths to this healing of our generational patterns, but it also is contained again within the body, right? The high priest or the high priestess, or the priest or the priestess, or just the individual. When this card is talking about being in stillness, so anybody can be a priest and anybody can be a priestess. I don't want people to think that this is not about them, because this is about all of us, right? This process is about all of us, not just those who might take the spiritual path as their day-to-day path, right? This is for really all of us, right? And we all have family and generational patterns to heal. Right? So so I just wanted to bring all of that information forward today. And this topic of generational patterns, again, the tools to finding the gifts within your generational patterns, shadow work, right? I mentioned imprint removal, shamanic services. There's also the Ho'oponopono that I do, which is an in-depth version of it. And again, I've done that for myself as well as for certain relationships, but going through your ancestral line and clearing that out. And there are ancestors that will show up for you as you do your ancestral clearing, and they will continue to guide you through the process. What's also important, what's also been coming up is this topic of selling out, the ancestors that have sold us out. And because this is something that I really do talk about in my home a lot, and now I'm hearing it on the within the airwaves, it is, it's great. It's great to just see that we are getting there now, where we're actually speaking about our own ancestors that have sold us out. And as we expand, as we ascend, as we elevate, if we don't speak about it, then we will repeat it. If we don't acknowledge it, it will definitely happen again. And I remember listening to a video the other day, and they were speaking about this essence of not speaking the truth and acting like what is happening is not happening, and how powerful that is in a negative way, and how we've been doing that for centuries and centuries and centuries, not acknowledging the truth of what is really going on and how deserving that is, right? So because integrity and truth have been such big themes, not just for this month, but really for the last 6 months, and we're being pushed and ushered into more and more truth and more transparency and more honesty and more integrity. Healing our generational patterns is a big deal. And if we're looking for leadership within ourselves as well as outside of ourselves, if we're looking for action within ourselves as well as outside of ourselves, and we're looking for stamina, and when I think of stamina, I think of fortitude, endurance, and strength, right? If we're looking for all of that, we got to look at the family genetics, and we have to look at ourselves, and we have to look at where we have sold each other out and where we have sold ourselves out, right? And we have to heal from that and move forward whole. All right. And I won't go into the details because it's going to look and show up in everybody's lives differently. But there's also a collective experience that is happening that we all know is happening, right? And when we look to our leaders and we're asking our leaders, well, we're asking ourselves, because we're not asking, we're saying to ourselves, these people have sold us out. And that is happening within the family as well as within the outskirts of leadership, right? So there are family members that are selling us out. And there are political leaders that are selling us out. And there are organizational leaders that are selling us out. And that is the reality. But there's something in that is not unique to them. And if we look at probably their family genetics, we'll probably see how deeply rooted that selling out is within their own family tree and some of our own family trees. And we can probably identify different family members that we know, yeah, if they offer you the right price, you do it. All right. And there's some family members that we know, yeah, nobody's gonna get to you.